Everybody eats it like that, I'm pretty sure. You guys do that, right? You get just a whole bowl of sugar, white or brown sugar, right? And you just take a spoon in it, and every day you just have it for lunch or maybe for breakfast, right? So good. Can't wait to finish it later. I'm going to have it for lunch, and then you guys do it too, right? I'm going to have a whole bowl of sugar for dinner too. I can't wait. Because that's what everybody does. That's why everybody's losing their teeth. It's from all those bowls of sugar they're eating, right? And all the sugar cubes and all that. That's what we're told. It's like the sugar is destroying your teeth, but it's not. You guys, I'm so excited. Did you listen to the podcast episode? Because it is unbelievable. The podcast episode, right? Teeth. Everyone's getting drilled. You got to listen to it if you get a chance. Medical Me and Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Link is in the profile. Commercial free, you guys. Commercial free. The podcast episode, there's no commercials. It's a #1 podcast. Medical Me and Podcast at Apple Podcasts, right? It's a #1 podcast, right? And it's commercial free. No advertisements. Do you guys ever hear that? You know, when you listen to a podcast and all you hear is all these commercials and advertisements, and then they finally get talking, and then you got more commercials and advertisements. We don't do that. It's free. Anyway, teeth, everyone's getting drilled. I released a new episode last night. You guys have to check it out, which is, I mean, when you get a chance. So everybody's eating like a bowl of sugar like I am, right? I'm pretty sure that's what the dentist thinks. I think we're all eating a bowl of sugar every single day, 3 times a day, right? So it's not sugar that destroys the teeth. And that's one of the big problems out there when people actually think teeth issues. That's why you could be a kid and then you only get 1 cavity and another kid gets 15 cavities. Or you get no cavity and they're eating the same diet pretty much, same candies, same sugar, same ice cream, same whatever. And meanwhile, one kid is getting like all these teeth filled. Another kid isn't, right? So the thing is, it's not sugar that actually causes our teeth problems. It's other things. It's what we're eating in here and then our immune system, our mineral deficiency. So it's not just about sugar. It's about something else that's in here, right? So let's talk about that. So when you see this chocolate cake, right, is this whole thing sugar? Like, I just want to know, like, is the whole thing made out of sugar, right? Is it like when you eat chocolate cake or chocolate chip cookies, is your chocolate chip cookie, is it totally like 100% sugar, or is it fat and oil and gluten, right? It's all that. It's fat, oil, gluten. It's all these things. It's not just a lump of sugar. It's lard. It's butter. It's oil. It's fat. That's a big part of it. And what happens is, and I talk about, you heard the podcast, Shift Together says, heard the great new podcast. Incredible. You guys got to check it out. It's not the sugar that causes problems with teeth. It's all the fat that's mixed with the sugar. It's all the fat that's actually in the foods people are eating. So when you eat all that chocolate cake, it's the fat in the chocolate cake, right? When you have apple pie, it's the fat in the apple pie. It's not the apples, and that's important to know. Because the dentist will be like, oh, you just had an apple pie? Ooh, bad. Too much sugar in that apple pie, because they add a little sugar in there and then the apples are sugary sweet, and that's the problem. Meanwhile, it's the lard in here that causes the teeth problems. It's the oil, it's the butter in your apple pie that's causing the teeth problems. And this is critical to know. You guys got to check this out. If you get a chance, check out the episode, right? Because I could just scratch the surface of it. It's basically all I can do. You guys, same thing with a chocolate bar, right? Same thing. You're having a nice chocolate bar. Everybody loves their chocolate. Everybody loves their chocolate bars every day, right? You need your pick-me-up. You need your caffeine high in the middle of the day, right? Okay? It's not the sugar that's in the chocolate bar. It's the caffeine and the fat that's inside the chocolate that's injuring teeth, right? That's what's hurting teeth along the way, making teeth mineral deficient, making teeth lose their calcium. It's all the fat in here. That's a big part of it. So you gotta know that it's not the sugar that's being put in the chocolate bar. That's not it at all, right? So important to know, right? Food is not the only thing that causes teeth problems. So let's go into that's why someone can eat all the crap they want and everything else, and they don't have a teeth problem, right? So it's not just food. It's not just like the coffee, right, and other things. We're going to talk about more about that too. So let's go into coffee a little bit, right? What people don't understand is coffee is so acidic, it basically ruins teeth from the inside out, not from the outside in. Now, you can have a coffee-stained teeth. You could have coffee-stained teeth, right? But teeth can stain for a lot of reasons, but that's not really where the injury happens. It's not about the coffee touching the teeth. It's about the coffee being inside of our body, inside our bloodstream. When the coffee's inside our bloodstream, it turns our blood into acid. And so it's that blood acid that causes a mineral deficiency in your teeth. So years and years of coffee, eventually your teeth just start to fall apart. A straw doesn't save you. So when you have a straw in your coffee, in your iced coffee, and you know, people go get the iced coffee. It's summertime. They got the ice in there, you know, cold coffee. It tastes so good. You got the straw in there, and you put the straw in your mouth and like, ooh, I'm not going to let it stain my teeth. I don't want to let it stain that. But people don't realize it's destroying the teeth from within. It gets into your bloodstream. It makes your blood really acidic, and it destroys the teeth from within. That's how coffee works, right? So that's one thing right there, which is that's a big thing all on its own, right? Vinegar. It's another one right there. Vinegar in your salsas, vinegar in all your different condiments, vinegar and relish, vinegar and ketchup. Ketchup? Anybody still have ketchup? Vinegar and egg salad, vinegar in all the different dressings, all the salad dressings, vinegar's in that too. Vinegar's in all kinds of takeout food. It's in every takeout food dish, really. It's in there one way or another, okay? So vinegar is the teeth destroyer too, from the inside out. Vinegar doesn't help teeth on the outside either. It's not like it's the best thing for the outside, but from the inside out. So that apple cider vinegar, yeah, apple cider vinegar is the best vinegar. That's the one you want. There's no question if you're going to use the vinegar, but still going to turn the acid situation up. Like it's going to click it up a notch, man. It's going to click it up high. That vinegar sits inside the bloodstream. It sits inside the body. It turns the blood into blood acid, raises the blood acids, right? That acid needs to be buffered. You need buffering. So we'll talk about that. When you're getting it buffered, right? When you're getting that acid buffered, what's buffering it, right? Your teeth. That's what's buffering it. Your skeletal system, your skeleton is buffering the acids that you're consuming. So the more coffee you do, right? Really acidic, okay? You're losing your calcium to buffer all that acid. You see how it works, you guys? So when you're doing vinegar in all your dressings, vinegar in all your food, vinegar in all your dishes, you're using your own calcium to buffer all that acid. You see how it works? This is why everybody's teeth go to crap as time goes on. And everybody has a different situation because teeth are like time capsules. You guys just came on here on Instagram, Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. I just launched a brand new episode called Teeth. Everyone's getting drilled. You don't want to miss it. Link is in profile. And you got to make sure you hear this episode. Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. It's the best place to hear it without glitches, because there was a glitch on the podcast on other platforms, and Apple Podcasts, it doesn't seem to be glitched out, so it's good. So you guys, Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts, check out the episode when you get a chance. Commercial free. What you'll notice about the Medical Medium Podcast is it's not going to be all drowned out with advertisements, all those deals going down with advertisers, all the different, ads and all that other stuff. Nothing like that's happening. When you listen to the Medical Medium Podcast, it's commercial free, advertisement free, ad free. And that is something that's incredible. It's a #1 podcast and it's ad free. Who does that? Nobody. Actually, only Medical Medium. So anyway, let's go back into it a little bit. Now, you can be born with deficiencies. You can come into this world with serious deficiencies, right? Have a lot of heavy metals in your system, have a lot of toxins, DDT. We come into this world with DDT in us, right? Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, DDT. We come into this world with a lot of that. Toxic heavy metals, mercury, aluminum, copper, and it creates some serious deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, and trace deficiencies, right? Trace mineral deficiencies. And then we got teeth problems from the start. So we have teeth problems right from the beginning when we come into this world. And as we do that, now we're up against not only our original teeth problems and deficiencies, but we're now up against more deficiencies that are created after the fact. So that means as you're living your life, you're actually getting more deficiencies, more exposure, more toxic heavy metals. And this isn't just the foods we're talking about. We're talking about all these toxins, all the fragrances, all the other different exposures, radiation that breaks down our system too. And we get these deficiencies, our immune system breaks down, and then our gums and our teeth start to take a major hit. And that's where that happens next. So our gums and our teeth start to take a hit. Because what happens is that we don't have a strong enough immune system to keep back all the bad bacteria inside of us, all the viral pathogens inside of us. So we can't keep it in check. So our immune system breaks down as we go along. We get a lot more toxic heavy metals, mercury, aluminum, copper, lead, arsenic, right? We get all these new metals inside of us too. It's not even just about the foods and the additives in foods and the processed foods and all of that. That's just one aspect of it. You guys got to check out the episode. You really do. It's really incredible. You don't want to miss it. It is live. It is there. It's there for you at Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. It's teeth. Everyone's getting drilled. And let's go into that now. Now, if you're plant-based or if you're vegan and you have any problems with your teeth, it's instantly blamed on your diet. And it always happens like that and always has. Link is in the bio on the podcast, by the way, if you guys get a chance to look at it. So a lot of people who are plant-based or vegan, the minute they start getting teeth problems, if they're plant-based or vegan, it's instantly blamed. Like, whoa, it's because you're vegan. Whoa, it's because of the fact that you're, plant-based. You're not getting enough protein. You're not getting anything like that. So what happens, people think your veganism is making you deficient, but that's not accurate. So that's not actually true because everyone's getting drilled. So everyone's in their dentist chair, sitting there, getting problems, having problems with their teeth, getting cavities filled, getting root canals. Everyone gets sick. Exactly. So with all of that, people need to know this, that it's not just, look, there's people with keto diets, there's people with other types of diets, there's people on vegan diets, vegetarian diets. They're all having teeth problems as they go along. Some a lot worse than others, but they all have a taste of it. They're all getting problems with their teeth. So that's important to know right there. And I talked about in the episode how podcast doctors, they're out there saying, oh, be careful with fruit. Be careful. Don't do lemons or don't do fruit. Meanwhile, they don't have any of their teeth practically. That's actually true. It's actually factual out there. People don't realize it, but a lot of the professionals out there, right, that are out there influencing people, they're either doctors doing podcasts or they're gurus and stuff, and they're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, they're in their 60s. They have either all veneers a couple of times over, implants, they've lost half their teeth, but nobody knows it. And they're sitting there saying, hey, don't do fruit, which is our next topic. What you'll find out is when you listen to the episode, lemons actually help your teeth. And a lot of people in the medical medium community, they do their lemon water, they do their celery juice, they take care of themselves, they do their heavy metal detox smoothie, they start to remineralize, they start to use these tools, and their gums and teeth get healthier, And there's fruit fear out there in the world. Professionals out there and dentists will be like, don't eat a piece of fruit. Don't do too much fruit. The sugar will cause some teeth problems. It'll cause problems with your mouth, and that's not true or accurate. So it's not about the sugar aspect, and fruit sugar is different than any sugar. So that's something to know right there. It's actually just glucose basically for our bloodstream, a natural source. It's really healing for us. If you guys just got on here, talking about the new Medical Medium podcast episode launched last night, you don't want to miss it. Medical Medium podcast at Apple Podcasts. It's called Teeth Everyone's Getting Drilled. It's an incredible episode. You don't want to miss out on this. The link is in the profile, so check it out. So we're talking about different foods right here, what's happening with it. Every time someone says, I backing down on sugar, I quit sugar, and things are getting better for me. Like, I quit sugar. They didn't quit sugar, okay? They say they quit sugar. They didn't quit sugar because they weren't sitting there eating bowls of sugar every day. That's not what they were doing. What they were doing were eating cakes and cookies and donuts. That's what they were doing when they say they quit sugar. They were eating cakes, cookies, and donuts, okay? And cakes and cookies and donuts aren't straight sugar. So when someone says, yeah, I got rid of sugar and, I'm getting so much better because of it. Yeah, well, the sugar they're talking about is just junk food. And they're calling the junk food sugar. That's what they're doing. So they're calling their cakes. They're calling their donuts. They're calling their cookies. They're calling that sugar. So that's what they're saying. They're like, oh, well, I actually quit my sugar. Here we go. So I just quit that. Here it is, right? I just quit my sugar. They're calling this sugar is what they're doing. When people say, well, I'm staying away from sugar. What they're saying is they're staying away from cookies, donuts, cakes, croissants, powdered sugar stuff on top of actual baked goods. That's the kind of sugar is what they mean. They mean they're staying away from this, right? But what they don't realize is this isn't all sugar, and that's not why they're not feeling good. So people be like, well, it was the sugar that didn't make me feel good. It was the fat and the other garbage, the lard, the vegetable oils, right? The butter, the gluten in all those goods, all those baked goods, the grains. That's what they were consuming, and the chemicals and the additives that were inside of it. That's what they were consuming when they said, yeah, no, I'm watching my sugar now. I'm watching my weight and I'm watching my sugar intake. And so that's what they mean. And so people get confused. So when they hear sugar, they're like, whoa, I better not eat that apple. Better not eat that banana. I better not eat any of that. So that's what they think. They're like, whoa, I better stay away from bananas. I better stay away from fruit because, yeah, that person's staying away from fruit. They're staying away from all sugar. And what they're really saying is, I'm kind of backing down from all the goodies is what they're saying. Like the chocolate bars, right? And that's what happens is people are doing that kind of sugar where it's sugar and it's mixed with some other thing like fat and oil. And even chocolate is all that fat. So that's the key to actually know. So you got to look out for that so you're not also tricked by that one because a lot of people get tricked by that one. You guys just got on here, Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts, launched the 3rd new episode, right? Link is in the profile. It's called Teeth Everyone's Getting Drilled. Highly informative, powerful episode, packed with information of why our teeth fall apart and go bad over time. So let's go into some acid talk a little bit, right? A little bit more, which is really important, okay? We lose our teeth because our body's desperate for what our teeth carry, what our teeth have. There's something in our teeth that our body needs desperately, so it's going to steal it. It's going to take from it, okay? That's important to know. So when we start eating all the acidic stuff, we're drinking coffee, we're eating vinegar every day, we're using vinegar in our foods, it's in condiments every day, right? We're eating a lot of fat, even if it's just high protein diets. It's just high protein, whether you're vegan, whether you're animal protein. If you're somebody who's a vegan, you're like, well, I don't do animal protein, so I'm good there. You're still doing the nut butters. you're still doing the beans and the nut butters and all that kind of stuff, right? Still protein, lots of fats are in there. And people don't realize how much fat they get in their diet as a vegan too. So, and this isn't about is vegan bad or is animal protein bad. This is just talking about the body system, how much fat we put into the body system, how it turns acidic really fast, how we knock down our caffeine in there. We do the coffee, which is really acidic. We do the vinegars, which is really acidic. Then we have our treats, which is really acidic. And then it all starts to add up. How many people pop popcorn every night? Yeah, they go like, oh, it's organic. I do organic popcorn at night, and that's the one I'm doing. I do organic popcorn. I put coconut oil on it. You know, I put coconut oil on my popcorn. So I got a free pass right there. I don't do butter. I do coconut oil on it. Still, at the same time, it's all that fat and other stuff too. Corn's another whole nother problem. But the point is it's really acidic popcorn. But we eat all these acidic foods. Our body systems go acidic. And then our body has to get calcium from our teeth. And that's why bacteria in your mouth has an easy target to rip into teeth. Because the calcium is going bye-bye. It's going bye-bye. That's why we're getting those cavities. The calcium in the teeth are going, see you later, because your body is devouring it because it needs it. So your body's crying for that calcium in your teeth, okay? And so over time, the teeth get translucent for a lot of people. They lose so much. You guys, there's so much more I can't even cover on the episode. You guys have to hear the episode. Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Teeth, everyone's getting drilled. You've got to check it out. The link is in the profile. You won't be disappointed. Commercial free. If you guys listen to podcasts out there, you'll notice all the advertisements and commercials. Medical Medium Podcast is the #1 podcast, and it's commercial free. Fans of that. So eventually, as the years go by, our body is screaming to get calcium, the kind it needs, which is actually from our bones. Because we're not getting enough of it from plants. We're not getting enough of it with our diet. But instead, we're constantly bombarding our body with acid. It's like everybody's doing yoga's doing kombucha tea. Everybody's into health's doing kombucha tea. They're completely bombarding their body of acid from kombucha tea, from coffees, matcha tea, from vinegars, right? Chocolates. That's the thing. Everybody's on it. And then their teeth just start to fall apart. So let's go into the next little part right here. Your teeth are time capsules is what they are. So that's important to know right there. Your teeth are time capsules. They hang in there, but they have the past to contend with. They know what's happened all these years. They know if you actually were doing all this acidic stuff all these years. They also know if you had a lot of emotional struggles, your adrenaline ran a lot throughout the years, you were deficient, you didn't take anything really good, like any good supplementation over time, you didn't fortify, you didn't put anything back in the tank. You weren't eating enough leafy greens, you weren't eating enough wild foods, you weren't drinking enough lemon water, you weren't drinking enough celery juice, you weren't taking care of yourself with leafy greens like spinach. And over time, your teeth, they looked okay from the outside, and then as time goes on, they explode. They basically explode. They start to break down. It's like, boom, wait a minute, what's wrong with my teeth? Is it what I'm doing right now? Oh, it's been what you've been doing all these years, but nobody knew. You guys got to check out the episode when you get a chance. Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcast. Link is in the profile. Link is in the bio right there. You're missing out if you don't catch that episode, right? Commercial free. Check it out when you get a chance. Teeth, everyone's getting drilled. That leads us to another whole thing. It's everybody has teeth problems or is getting teeth problems along the way. It doesn't matter what diet they're doing that's fancy and smancy out there or trendy, unless they're doing tools. They're integrating powerful tools into their life, into their diet. And that's another story. Are they doing 32 ounces of celery juice? Are they doing their heavy metal detox smoothie? Are they doing their leafy greens? All these things matter. You know, are they drinking coconut water instead of matcha tea? All these things matter in taking care of our teeth in the future. Because what happens is our skeletal system, our organs, our body is going to want the calcium that's inside our bones. And as we get older, you slip and fall, you break a bone, you fracture your skull, you fracture a bone. You get older, your teeth start to crumble. So there's a way to avoid that and take care of yourself, to do some healing, prevent the gum disease, all of it. And that's all part of it. Taking care of yourself, getting your HCl strong. That's one thing right there that's critical. Getting your digestive tract stronger too. Your HCl stronger, your liver stronger. All these are pieces of it right there. And there's ways of doing that. Anyway, check out the episode. Okay, when you get a chance, link is in the bio profile. Commercial free, Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Teeth, everyone's getting drilled. Incredible, you guys. Take one day at a time. If you have teeth problems, you're going through a lot. I'm so sorry you're going through all that. A lot of people are getting root canals, crowns, caps, dentures, cavities filled all the time, all of that. And just know that I care about you guys. And look, I try to give you guys the straight out information, right? I try to give you guys the tools and the info to heal and to make yourself stronger and to fortify your system, right? And bolster your immune system and help get you guys the information that you need, right? But I know so many of you have been through hell and back. You've gone through so much. You've struggled. You fought your way through your sickness. I know a lot of you, and I was just talking to a friend the other day, I know a lot of you, like, you look good on the outside to your family or friends or people on the street, and you look normal, but you're suffering inside and you're struggling inside. And, you know, you have a story to tell. You've been through a lot. And a lot of people, they feel like they can't get any support because they've told their friends about their problems, and they told their family about their problems with their, you know, tightness of the chest and tingles and numbness and their dizziness and their panic attacks and their anxiety. And it's really hard when you're not sick and you don't know what that's like. And it's hard to tell somebody else if they haven't experienced it themselves. And I know a lot of people, they have the whole invisible illness thing where you can't see it. And it's happening to the person. The person lives with it, and they got to go to their doctor appointments. And some of their doctors don't even really believe in what they're struggling with because things check out okay. And I just know so many of you have gone through, and just know that with all the symptoms you've had too, just know that my heart pours out to all of you for what you've been through. And many of you, all of you, I'm proud of, but many of you have fought your way back from hell, literally, with your sickness. And you climbed out of those woods, and you did some healing, and you did some work, and you worked hard. And I'm proud of you. And I wanted to tell everybody that I'm really proud of you for what you've done. You built yourself back up. You used the tools. You know, you were brave, and you went into it, and you said, you know what? I want to heal, and I want to move forward. And I know it all matters. And I just saw a comment go up that said, AW, I owe my life to you. But I'm sure you worked so hard. I'm sure you worked so hard at it, truly, right? And I know that. And I know so many of you guys have, you know, I get it. You know, no one knows what it's like to be on Mattress Island unless they've lived it, unless they're living it or lived it. Do you know what it's like where you only have so many hours in a day? You gotta take a nap or you're not going to be functional. And the brain fog's really hard. And, you know, you're weak in the knees and in the legs, and you feel like you have sandbags on your arms, and you know, you can't exercise the way you used to or wanted to. And people don't understand this, and they don't understand your depression either. So many people, right? You guys have had severe depression where it was so bad, you could barely even just push through it hour after an hour. And same thing with panic attacks and severe anxiety, you know, and, you know, and listen, you know, if you're just getting started and you're sick and you just got here and you're just getting started, right? Just baby steps if that's what you have to do. A little bit at a time. Learn the books, learn the information, and baby step into it. And plus, this is the most incredible healing community in the world right here. The medical medium community, the most compassionate people. They're the people that care, and they want you better. Anybody new that comes in here just know the people in here in this community, they've seen it. They've been there. They've done all. They've done it. They've seen it all out there. And so everyone's got everybody's back here in the medical medium community. And so if you're somebody who just got in here, found your way in here, you're in the right place because you're around incredible people that actually care. They've been through a lot in their life. They know what it's like to be sick. They know what it's like to be down and out. They fought their way back, and they got their own stories and experiences. They're just unbelievable. So if you're new and you came here and you're like, what do I do? Just know there are answers. It's an incredible place here. Now, I was talking to a doctor friend of mine, and he said he was checking into the medical medium communities, and he was talking to people and everything. And he said that he's never seen anything like it. It's like the most knowledgeable, compassionate, caring group of people. He said when he goes into other communities, they're like ripping everybody's throats out and everybody's screaming this and screaming that. He said the people here, and I said that's because the people here, they've done everything. They've tried it all out there. They know what it's like. They know what it's like to be down and out, and they fought their way back. And they're incredible people, spiritual people too, spiritually powerful people, man. And and it's important to know. So, and if you're somebody that's in the middle of your healing process, you're here now and you're in the middle of your healing process, just keep the faith. Keep the faith and keep on forging on. Customize your healing with the MM info. Customize it and forge ahead. Your body wants to heal, and you're on the right track. It's not easy to let go of vices. It's not easy to get rid of all the things that that do contribute to problems. But if you're doing some powerful things, you can take it day by day and heal a little at a time. And then you lose that symptom and you're like, oh my God, I lost that symptom I've been stuck with so long. And you forge ahead from there and you do that healing. And anybody here who's healed and you've been through all that, you've been in the worst situations, 100 symptoms, you're here and you're healed now. God bless you. Incredible that you're here. All the work that you've done, all of you guys, anyone who's in here, just know that I got your back too. I care, and I want to keep on delivering anything I can. I don't care what it is. You guys know I'm at your service for real, and you guys know I love you. All right. Okay, you guys, I'll see you again, and looking forward to it. Check out Medical Medium Podcast and Apple Podcast, the teeth episode. Launched it last night. Don't miss it. It's really informative, and hope you listen when you get a chance. And it's commercial free, which is really awesome.